Hi guys, welcome back, and hello if you are new. Thank you so much for tuning in, and this week I'm going to be talking about Mancunian death metal legends that are ingested. Ingested are a band that have very much kind of started off in that world of slam, and I would say kind of really from Where Only Gods May Tread onwards, the band have kind of started to adopt a bit more of a slightly progressive style, a bit more atmospheric kind of vibes. In terms of themes, the Tide of Death and Fractured Dreams is kind of atypical, I think, of death metal, in the fact that there's a lot of positivity on display here, and in some ways kind of lends itself a little bit to more of a hardcore ethos, you know, looking at the DIY. We've got Endless Machine, which is about kind of like taking things into your own hands. And the title is a metaphor for making it through in life and, you know, forging your own path and overcoming hurdles. But then you've also got the other side of the coin, which is kind of Where No Light Shines and Expect to Fail, which is, you know, about betrayal. But then you've got tracks like Pantheon, which looks at kind of more of an introspective idea of depression and imposter syndrome and things like that the band have been going through, particularly the singer. And with that in mind, you know, there's a lot of different textures that are at play here. You've got an interlude, which is this sort of like instrumental piece called Numinous, which has these sort of like crystalline, clean sections, and then a nice melodic solo, and it kind of breaks up the pace of things a little bit, which I really liked. And then you've got tracks like Starve the Fire, which to me kind of almost sounded like a death metal version of Tesseract. The ending of the album, A Path Once Lost, is also, you know, kind of that signature final track. It's the longest song on the album, but is quite moody, atmospheric, and kind of moves through sort of like a lot of different progressions. But there's also an interesting use of guest vocalists on here. We've got Josh Middleton on Expect to Fail, and In Nothingness features Mark Hunter of Chimera. And Josh, I think, is really cool because he kind of goes head to head with the singer, and they have this sort of like playing off each other, which I thought was quite interesting. But then Mark Hunter kind of goes a slightly different way and has more clean vocals, some heavier sections. But I thought it was a refreshing way to kind of bring in a new sort of sound. I think the thing for me is that even though Paragon of Purity starts really, really strong, the first sort of like 3 tracks are very similar. If you might not be familiar with the band and you've heard these sort of 3 songs, it might sort of sound a little bit samey, but you know, if you persevere, it's absolutely here, that sort of creativity and songwriting. And also the album cover I wanted to kind of, you know, give a bit of a nod to, because I thought it was an interesting juxtaposition to have a record that is so kind of relating to realist subjects, but then have such a surrealist album cover. So whilst this might be an engaging and interesting record, some of it doesn't quite land as well as I wanted it to, but also I have to say it's a step in the right direction, and it's an engaging death metal record that makes you think a little bit more than some of their contemporaries. So for that reason, I'm going to give this album a 7.5 out of 10. So thank you ever so much for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this album review. Let me know what you think in the comments underneath me. And if you did enjoy it, it'd be great if you could hit that like and subscribe button. And I'll see you guys very, very soon for another album review. Take care, my friends.